Hey there! In this video, we're going to cover how to swap out your motor in your AutoSwing automatic door system. For this, you'll need to have already taken your system off of your door and removed the metal cover of the system. You're also going to need just a regular Phillips screwdriver or a drill with a Phillips bit. To begin, we'll go ahead and remove this blue plastic cover right here and set this aside. And then you'll see that there are some cables plugged into right here. We're just going to go ahead and press in on the tab to remove these cables and unplug them. Just like that. On the top side of the controller, you'll see these two plastic tabs. We're going to push in on these tabs and then pop the controller out just like so. Once this is done, you should be able to take these cables and slide them out from the plastic clips, just like this. At this point, we'll go ahead and turn the system over, and we'll look for these 4 Phillips head screws on the back side of the system. We'll take our screwdriver or drill, and then we'll undo these 4 screws. Now I've just taken the screws out, and in my case, the motor just falls right out like that. Now in some cases, the motor may be a little bit tightly fit onto the base. If that's the case, just take a screwdriver, preferably a flathead, and very gently pry the motor off the base by sticking it in between the barrel of the motor and the base ends. At this point in the video, we're going to go ahead and attach our new motor onto our AutoSwing system. For this, you'll need your new motor, of course, your 4 AutoSwing motor screws from earlier, and just like before, your Phillips head screwdriver or drill. We'll begin by putting this motor onto the base. When you do this, you'll want to make sure that 2 cables are in this groove right here. This cable for the motor, and this cable coming from the system's end cap. The easiest way to do this is by tucking the first cable into the groove, holding the second cable down to the ends, and then gently resting the motor onto both cables, and then sliding the motor down. You should feel it release when the cable slides into place within the groove, and then as you continue to slide it, the motor will eventually sink into the right position. You'll be able to tell this because the 2 pins on the underside of the motor will go into these 2 holes that my fingers are pointing to. Once this is done, make sure to firmly grip the motor to the base so it does not slide out, and then begin putting your 4 motor screws back into the motor. Now that this is done, and I've tightened all 4 of my motor screws, I'm going to go ahead and flip my system back over, and I'm going to slide or push these 2 cables that I have coming out into this plastic clip. It may be easier to bend the clip slightly as you do this, so that the cables can be more easily inserted. I'll go ahead and pull the cables through. And then I will line up the chevron-shaped indentation right here with the chevron-shaped cutout in the base right here. I'll pull the cables more as I need to. And then I will pop the controller back into place. So now that I've gone ahead and put my controller back into position, I'll plug my cables back in. Your thicker port or thicker plug here is going to plug into the port at the top left corner. And then your thinner plug will plug into the port at the bottom left corner. And when you're done, your cables should look like this. At this point, you can go ahead and take your blue controller front plate and snap it back into position. And that concludes swapping the motor in your AutoSwing system.